Hey, everybody, how are you? I know you guys should be hearing me loud and clear. Let's grab some stuff. Let's grab some more stuff. How are we all doing? Welcome on in. If you can hear me, definitely drop a one. Hey, Marvella, let me know if you can hear my audio. If you're able to hear me, please let me know. I noticed that my restream has been acting up. So, hey, guys, I may even just switch up the audio. Thank you for coming on in. You can hear me great. I don't have the mic, but I think this will work for a bit. um, hope you all had a beautiful day. Great. Thank you so much. Hope you all had an amazing day. How has it been going for you? I did my master class and I don't know why my screen is moving. I don't know if you guys can see it, but the screen keeps moving. It's a lot that's happening. Marvella, great video today. If you just want to drop the title of what your video, what it was about, so folks who are coming in could definitely support you. What was the title of your video today? I know, but I want you to drop it in. Hey, Lyrics by Nitya, what's going on? Lyrics by Nitya. Yes, I had a nice day today. It was I could call it a miracle breakthrough day. It's one of those. I don't know if I want to plug this out because it just may suck all the energy out of it. But it was okay. We got to watch this with the light. It may go, it may go. You know how technology is. What did I tell you? I told you it just might go. Oh my goodness. Let's see. So Lyrics by Nitya is here. Marvella, how are we all doing, guys? Listen, hold a second. Let's see if we can switch this over. Oh, yeah, it's not picking up the mic. For some reason it's not picking up the mic, but I'm just hoping you guys can still hear me. She said, I have no idea. I love it when my creatives are just like, girl, I'm just churning out the music, I'm churning out the videos, I'm just feeling motivated. I'm feeling like let me just do it. Facebook, how are you guys doing? You guys have been awesome. Thank you for giving me thumbs up and watching the video. That's nice. Facebook, it's only my friends though. It's not open to the public. And I don't even really take friends anymore. So that's whomever is there, it's there. Hunger for righteousness. Yes. We hunger for righteousness. That's the only thing we should be. And sometimes too, when we hunger for something and somebody would say, well, how do you put it in layman's term? you know how do you explain that? Because sometimes you just want to learn more. You want to just be in the presence of God, right? You just want to learn more. You want to delve more into the word and just understanding it, and it brings clarity. It really brings clarity. So that's the thing, what I love about it, because and why I like to listen to different things, what people have to say, because sometimes everything may not be for you, and you might have heard it before, but there comes a time when you need that word and you're just hungering for more of it because you heard a little something something. So I understand, and for me it has been it's been good. I love it. I love it. So Nit, yeah, I saw that you did another song. Yes, she did too. She did like within a week, within a 2 week span. I'm sure she probably wrote more, but to put them out there. And sometimes too, that's the divine download. It's the download. So I'm talking about a temporary solution to a permanent decision. And sometimes too, we can, and I think I alluded to this maybe sometime last week in one of my lives, that there are peoples and situations that can make you really say, "Am I saved? Can I just put my save on layaway for a bit and just let me deal with these folks verbally or whichever way?" And when I saw that, it reminded me, and it said, even in business and in life, sometimes you will make permanent decisions, right? All because of a temporary solution. What feels good at the moment, and or something quick and easy, and then guess what? You still end up you still end up making a decision that is permanent. But in that situation, and we have to remember, that's why it's good to remember the word. That's why it's good to remember some things here, Marvella. Marvella was like, I remember back in the day. um, but yeah, you just want to say something. And I keep talking about the song that trouble doesn't last always. It doesn't last forever. They're like there's some at the end of the cloud, or around each cloud has a silver lining, all the things that we say. But when you're going through in the moment, when you're going through it, all that stuff goes out the window sometimes. Marvella was like, Sharon, you know, we can't put saved on layaway. Or I could was like, can you just hold that for a moment? It's like my jacket, like James Brown. Hold my jacket, just hold my jacket for a moment. And you just get to the point that, you know what? No, I don't even want that. But when you're going through, and so for any of you out there, you might have been, you might have gone through some situations, some things, and you might not have felt that being diplomatic at the time is a thing to do. You just want to say what needs to be said. But then also, there are ways how you can say the same thing. And some of us might have learned that a little bit later in life, that, oh, I didn't have to say it, I could have said it this way. And to de-escalate whatever is going on, whatever is happening. So yeah, I've thought of that. But when you're in the moment of going through the issues, you may not be able to see through it. And I can only talk from my experience, that now that I know I can't put it on layaway, know that I can't say, like they would say, hold my mule or hold my jacket. I can't. I have to consider to be diplomatic, diplomatic about it. And so even with this, I always have to come around talking about YouTube. I'm one of the those that learn later. Thank you for the transparency on that, Marvella. Isn't that so true? That now I have time to listen and hear that if somebody is getting at you up here, you can de-escalate them, and you can also create healthy boundaries around what can be said or how someone can speak to you. Like, we're not going to continue this conversation. We'll continue at another time. And I'm like, oh, that's so good. I could have used that 20 years ago or even 30 years ago. I could have used that. But who remembered? My goodness. My goodness. So, what do you guys have going on? I see that we're doing, oh my goodness. Oh, wow, wow, wow. Oh gosh, I don't know. Yeah, let me just, he that keepeth, what is it? He that keepeth his mouth, keepeth his life. You ever heard that? What is it? What is that scripture? He that keepeth his mouth, keepeth his life. He that keepeth his mouth, keepeth his. All right, let's see. He that keepeth his mouth keepeth his life. Proverbs 13 and 3. It emphasizes the importance of carefully considering what we say and guarding our tongues to avoid, what does it say? Harm or ruin. My goodness. It suggests that thoughtless or reckless speech can lead to negative consequences, while mindful and controlled communication can protect our well being. Oh, man. Yes, Nasuela, hey, Nasuela, Nasuela, good morning. Valentine, hello, good to be here again. Good to see you. I see you working hard. I see you working hard in the community. Way to go, way to go. That's great. Yeah, sometimes you got to get out there. You've got to mingle, you got to rub elbows. We were really trying to say 6 inches, don't get too close. But in other words, in these internet streets, you still will have to show up and you still have to show up and show out. Let me see how we're doing over here on Facebook. Let me see where my Facebook peeps are. Okay, there we go. We need to talk. All right. It says one share. I don't know who's sharing it because it can't be shared anywhere. It's just to my friends. So let's see. Nacella, what time is it where you are? Valentine, yes. Got to be out there. We have to choose to show up. We were just talking about, sometimes in the heat of the moment we can make decisions that could end up being a permanent could give us permanent results, or and maybe they aren't even the results that we want. It's not the results that we want, but in the heat of the moment sometimes we will just say what we just say what we said. In the heat of the moment we could just say, keep my wife's name out your mouth, keep my husband's name out of your mouth, keep my kids name out of your mouth. And it doesn't mean that it's right. It's just like, what happened? We're human. And sometimes it becomes too much. And that's why, too, it requires pausing for that moment. Guys, it's just ginger tea. And because this keeps it warmer longer, I decided to put it in here, but now it's too hot. I burned my tongue a little bit. Okay. Nasula said it's 5:16 a.m. in the morning. Whoa, 5:16 a.m. in Kenya. Oh, and thank you. Wow. What time do you get ready for work? That is so look at her just supporting, showing up. So I know she came for her morning motivation. And Gray is in Kuwait, but his shift has also changed. So he is working the night shift. So things has changed for him too. But that's the great thing about having the videos that people can always play it on the replay. Because there are times we're worrying about people not watching our stuff, but it's on, place it on the replay. I know that a few people were supposed to put the videos under 100 on their walls. So if that's done, I'll just go and see who is, so I can give them some watch time. And that's the thing. I'm Once again, you're going to support the people. You're going to go out there and watch their material. And is especially if it resonates with me, I'm going to be on your page like I'm on Nitya's page, and it's Marvella and Wisdom Sparks. I even went to Blue, what was it, Blue Dominion today. I was like, oh, I haven't seen her in a bit. And there was one that I was able to listen to. It was 20 minutes. And I don't worry about that because I was getting dressed and doing some stuff, but I did not mind listening. The longer videos helps when I'm driving, walking, or something like that. So I can listen. Nacella said, I'm not working today. It's Good Friday. Ah, okay. So is that that's Holy Friday? Okay, all right, I see. Yes. Yes, Valentin Alves Jr. said, yes, replay is a blessing for us with crazy hours. That's so true. And maybe in a couple of weeks, my hours are probably going to get crazy because there's some other projects and things that I'm working on. And I'm just hoping I'm going to have to be able to pace myself in between the other things, to pace myself between the other things that I do. Like I know Nitya, she sometimes works, right? I can't say people are working, but how do you guys manage? How do you guys manage your time with this YouTube? Like my 9 to 5 folk, how do you manage or your overnight? How do you manage it? Are you planning out your videos? Yeah, as a matter of fact, do you plan out your videos, Valentin? Do you plan them out? And I have some catch up from you, Nasuela, to do because I watched a lot of stuff leading up to your celebration, and I think some of the stuff was released after. But how do you plan your content? Do you have a list to plan out your content for the week? Because the replays are good, yes, but are we planning? Are we, are we? Because I try to map it out. Like today, I was able to do a webinar, and I thought about bringing it over to YouTube, but I wasn't using. I probably could have used here. Probably could have used Restream, and I was like, oh, I would have used Zoom, and then I had some slides, and I don't use a whole lot of slides, and I was going to do it that way, but I just decided, all right, I'm just going to upload it in my academy, and those folks will see it. Oh, okay. All right, so we're talking about planning out our content. Lyrics by Nitya said, "Yes, I do. I plan out my content." Yeah, and when we're talking about planning out your content, and what I've learned here is to really do the thumbnail before. Do the thumbnail so you're not thinking about, okay, what am I going to do? So it was a great idea just to map out what the possibility of my thumbnails would look like. Right now I'm just switching up the words because of the monetization stuff when they're going to come on your your channel. I was concerned if all of my thumbnails look the same, would that be an issue? So the coloring is the same, and I just change up the words. So I'm not getting overly creative right now. So we'll just see after that. Valentin said, sometimes in the morning or when I do my walking or some old videos from last year's recording that I did. Okay, all right. It's Marvella said, as video ideas come to me, I make them and schedule them. Whoa, oh, so you're not like writing down a batch of ten titles? She just turns her video on. That's great. As ideas come to me, and that's one of the things too with content, as the ideas come. And that's why I love audio, because I could get ready to do an audio and I'm like, okay, it's here. I could just turn it on. I'm not worrying about if people can see me. Hopefully they can hear me, but doing that. Nacella said, like me, I go live even when I am at work. I only travel over holidays and normal content. I record as I do my normal things. Yes, I've seen that. And I'd like to see Africa is beautiful. I'd like to see more in the market. People in beautiful places, y'all got to show your country. So I would like to see that. I would like to see the market. I would like to see. I've seen you done food and things, Venezuela food and things that you're cooking, but it would be great to see that, in real time. Just go to the market and get some videos, and I think you did do that, but I'd like to see it. That would be nice. Just switch it up a little bit. The most difficult thing is editing in the main challenge to you. Yeah, for me, it's the space I don't have. The editing, I wouldn't even have a problem, but I still have tons and tons of videos. And there's a new computer, but it's not a Mac. Cassie Kitchen Creations with a K is in the building. Hey, Professor. Hey, Doc. How are you? How are you doing? Oh, now this is one organized lady. I think we spoke a little bit about it. How do we create our content and put it out there? How, I mean, with everything else you have to do, I'm just trying to figure it out. Because one of the things I know is that you can release one or two videos per week. And you can, in your the description, I think uh Luciana spoke a little bit about it in the description in mine, and I've been doing that for months, where it just says there's a new video Thursdays at 4 a.m. So I actually let my video pick up that information and when I remember to do it. But anybody's schedule, does anyone? Hey, Callie, is it Callie dash 64? SSB is in the building. How are you? How are you? Good to see you. Thank you for coming over. Valentin Alves is agreeing with me. Yes, Africa is beautiful. I have subscribers from there and love her content. Wonderful, wonderful. Good to see you. All is well. How are you doing? A little bit tired um, because my schedule is off again to sleep. So I'm trying to sleep. Last night, I think after I finished, I went on the bike because we got a new bike and it's one of those bikes that you can ride like a cycle. And I was like, oh, I can stand up and ride. And the next thing you know, I couldn't even sleep. I was wide awake. I tried to put on Boogie Times. Uh, I think it was Boogie Time, her Ocean and the Caribbean Girl. I'm like, I need something to sleep. I don't even know what time I went to sleep. I was wound up. Nasuela said, I will do crazy market video. I hope you people will believe it's not acting. Oh, I bet in Africa they're going to be bartering. Like, no, no, like in Jamaica, the markets in Jamaica are fun. When I go to Jamaica, I always and I want to be able to do that again. I would go with my uncle's wife. I would go with them to the market and I would love it. I'm like, oh my God. Then I'll get tired and I try to sit somewhere and they'll tell you that you're fat. Lord, you're so fat. They would just tell you, you're so fat. I'm like, do you guys have to tell people I'm big bone? Where you here, born big? Please grant me a blue wrench. SSB is looking for a wrench. I don't give those out. Those are only people that are working. I don't give out those wrench. And please go find these people. Find them. Watch their stuff. Do you know there's some folks, people are using the blue wrench going over there and um they are subscribing and then they unsubscribe. Not to say that you're doing that, but I can't feel the stress about the blue wrench. I don't even know. She wants it to connect with people. Who knows? One of these days, maybe. But please grant me a blue wrench. Please like and subscribe. Yes, yes, Marvella. Yeah, and so even with young people, a lot of people have made decisions in the moment, in the heat of the moment, and that's what the title is about. Temporary solutions and a permanent decision that in the heat of the moment you lose it. And I don't want to, I think I've passed that stage. Well, you can never say never, but I'm just trying to hold on. I'm trying to hold on to my peace. My peace is important to me. Protecting that space because we sometimes allow people to walk in and step in and steal our joy. And that's why I love the morning motivations. I love that because it is a reminder. It's a reminder when we ground ourselves, no matter what's going on, no matter what's happening, we are able to say, I need to hear this. I need to be in this space so that I I remember who I am and whose I am. So that's an important thing. Valentin Alves Jr. said, my aunt used to call everyone fat when we visit her. My wife didn't like it. Yeah. Oh, let's talk about that. Culturally, it's different. And so I would like to go to the market, and the people who would go to the market from far away and they would come and then the market is finished and I'm sitting there. And I remember one time I sat, the ladies, they turned over their basket, those big baskets that they would put on their head. And I don't know, I sat on one of the baskets, and the person said to me, oh my God, you're fat, but your skin is so pretty. So I guess they were giving me a compliment. Caribbean. Oh, or when you would be in a taxi, they would tell you you're taking up so much space. So they would tell you to small up yourself. In Jamaica, they tell you small up yourself. And I'm like, how do I? I'm trying to small up myself. And the taxi drivers weren't very happy because supposedly you're taking up too much space. So I'm being told to sit out or small up myself. So every time it was small up myself. And so I'm going back before we would rent cars. I think I'm going back to the 80s and 90s, not in the 2000. I think, yeah. And then you would be in a taxi and some guy would want, it's a thing. Yeah. And then, you'd be in the taxi and some guy, so you would be all nice. And some guy would just, because the taxi, you're all cramped in. And then they would just put their arms around you, or they would just move their arm like this, and then you're in the arm and it's a little sweaty, and by the time it get on you, you're like, oh, forget it. Oh, forget it. I'm trying to small up myself. The guy was trying to be pleasant and put his arm up, and the next thing you know, my like in arm, my shoulder, and the next thing you know, I got all sweaty up here. And so I was like, okay, I had to small up myself. But those were the good old days. And with the difference in culture too, you don't want to get upset because you could say something and offend someone when in fact they weren't really, so at the time back then, I know they weren't really trying to offend you. They're just telling that you're fat but your skin is pretty. and you're like, wait a minute, what did you say? So it is what it is because we're from Puerto Rico. They like that too. Puerto Rico, yeah. So a Caribbean thing, yeah, it does happen. And I think maybe Africa, or maybe it's a people thing. I don't know, but I can only speak culturally that and they will defend it. They will defend it that nothing was said wrong because I remember one person say, I said, it's rude to call somebody fat. And he said, are you, well, you skinny? Well, you skinny? And like, you skinny? It is what it is, but it happens. Okay, Nacella said, here in Africa, if they tell you that you are fat, it's a compliment. But if they call you thin, they mean you are not healthy. Sounds about right. Same thing in Jamaica. They used to say, "Oh, she fat and she pretty and her skin clean." The clean, all of that stuff. So, and the seller is saying in Africa, they will tell you that if you're fat, it's a compliment. But if they call you thin, they mean you sick. Like you would want to say, how sick is that? And that goes to show you, you can't, you can't. I'm just remembering those days. I really am. You can't please people. And so the cultural side of it, I can laugh at it now. Back then it wasn't funny. There was a colleague that I worked with, and she said, "I'm not going back to Jamaica. They're so rude. My family." And they just, and because they told her she was fat. And I don't know if YouTube is going to flag me because certain words you can't even say anymore. And you don't want to body shame anyone. Now, days it's body shame and stuff like that. And also too culturally, we'll laugh at things. If especially the Jamaicans will say we take a bad thing, make joke, but it's the reality of it that instead of holding it in, our reaction will say, oh boy, we're not really laughing, but it seems as if we're making light of the situation. And sometimes too, I think it's a survival mechanism. It's a survival mechanism when that laugh, and you will say, oh boy, okay, and you'll say something and it just seems ridiculous at the moment because the thing about it too, sometimes when you hold on to so much, and that's why our cultures are important. I know, I understand that there's supposed to be cultural sensitivity, but a lot of people, maybe that's what we should have called this thing, because that's the direction we're going. Some people may not understand that culturally, when we say things, we'll come in, we'll say good night. It's not we're leaving, we're coming in, we're saying hello. We may deal with situations differently. Yes, I really do believe, Marvella, it's a survival mechanism. And when we think we're so different, when you really look at it, we're really all, we're pretty much all doing the same thing. And to know that people say, oh my God, how can you react to that? How can you do it? And they don't understand. So I'm understanding now you got to defend culturally who you are. Because if we hold on to all of that stuff, because we've been there. We oh Lord, hundreds of years, right? And so it's a mechanism that's used just to survive, just in order for it to make sense to our brains. Because when we hold on to things in our bodies, it festers into other things. And so that's why being able to forgive, being able to, and it's a lot of work, many of us have to do just to release it every day. I had a situation that was really annoying me, and when I started to think of it, I was like, oh, I could have said this and that, and I just want to cut ties on it. And I was feeling a little way with it, and I said, you know what, wait a minute, I'm going to bite the bullet and just deal with the situation right now, because I'm not going to allow that to fester inside of me. So sometimes, guys, we have to nip it in the bud. The moment you recognize it, you start working on how to release it. Nasuela said, I remember my grandma used to be very worried because I am slim. She could try to make me eat like 4 meals a day. I get it. Yes, they would try. We call it fatten you up. In Jamaica, we say, Lord, we need to fatten her up. We knew Mary Jane, we're saved. Oh, Mary Jane, how are you? Where have you been? Where have you been, friend? Where have you been? Now you have me singing, and they're going to say, what's going on with her? Mary Jane is in the house, is in the building. Great to see you. Oh my goodness. I am trying. I think I may have to switch up my glasses because this hurts a little bit. Keep their company there, Mary Jane. Where have you been? Nobody knows me like you do. No. Boom. Now I can see everybody. Oh my goodness. Now, where have you been? Where have you been? Nobody knows me like you do. Nobody else. I can't. That's a good thing. I hope I don't get a copyright strike because we can't sing anyway. The audio, the vocals are not there. You know, Mary Jane, been checking out some of your videos. You shared your heart about that. You did what needed to be done, and sometimes we got to pull back a little bit in order to move forward. It's Mary Jane, do you know it's Marvella? And it's Marvella. Have you met Mary Jane? I think you guys would like each other's information. And Valentine too. You guys connect. You all connect over there. Valentine said, at work, I learned to deal with different types of personalities, and I don't let it bother me. I deal with it different now with patience. And let me tell you something. I had, who's ready for the story time? Drop a two if you're ready for the story time, because I'm going to spill the tea on this. If you sing with your mouth, no copyright. Hey, what's her name? Got a copyright for a song she was singing. Is it Nell's? Nels? What's her name? Nasuela, our friend there. She got a copyright. She said she was singing a song. So okay, story time. Let's lean in. So I had a situation at a location where I was working some years ago, and I mean, because I had to think how I'm going to present this. And yes. So, have you ever been? Some of you are in. You are out. Especially, I know Marvella. She worked in the wellness space, and I think Lashana was a CNA, Marvella LPN, licensed practical nurse, right? And so we're all in the wellness. How we work in these hospitals and facilities. And I remember someone said something, and it it hurt my feelings, and I don't know what she said, because sometimes too, you go to work and there's some people who don't want to work. I've had that happen. And so that's why I probably used to only work when I only work 3 days a week. I only work 3 days a week. No, thank you. I do not want any overtime. I'd rather go agency and work somewhere else, for all my nurses who understand that, because when you go to work, you're physical, you're just drained, drained, drained. And so sometimes you would just end up doing it yourself, and do the majority of it to get as as little support. And I remember something the person said, and it really, I was like, wow. I didn't like it. And I was remember speaking to the the supervisor, and from that, the supervisor knew me for for something that I did. So that's why it's good. In other words, I want you to say it's good to treat people well. So there was a young lady who would come into the hospital. She was a very hard stick in the ER. She was a very hard stick. And I would be patient enough to work with her to get the line in. And whenever I'm working, she would see me and she said, that nurse, she knows how to get an IV. I could get it on your finger if need be. I could get it on your thumb. That's how good I am, right? I could get it wherever I need to. Some people are like, oh, I hate needles. Don't talk about that. But I was always able to be very patient, take care of her, da 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 da, all that time. Well, I didn't even know that was the supervisor's daughter. I had no idea. Everybody had something to say. I never said a bad word, always treated her well. And when the situation came up and I spoke to the supervisor, I looked her in the eye and I said, I've taken care of your child. I've taken care of your very own daughter and your daughter yourself. I'm certain I've told you, and I don't even need to say because I didn't even know she was your daughter. I took care of her countless times, and you know how I take care of her. And she said, you know, Sharon, her eyes, she just got really blushed by it. And she said, I know that. Then the other person came back and apologized. In other words, you know, what goes around comes around. And for me, like I said, there was somebody that I was always taking care of. I didn't care what her story was. I would just always take care of her. I'm there singing, trying to get the IV in, being very patient and to take care of her. And this girl went back and told her mom and said that's they would call me the singing nurse because I can't sing, but I was always in that mood. What you see is what you get. You know, in some places, people, you know, while I'm doing my job. And so when somebody came with something that was not part of my character, you know, I could have, but I didn't. But I spoke to that supervisor and knowing me by my work. So the work that you do will really speak for yourself. And yes, I could have said something that could have, you know, or reacted in a certain way. But sometimes too, it's good to walk away from it. And you know who you are and the work that you do. Let that speak for yourself, right? Let that speak for who you are. Let's hear what the chat is saying. She must have sang it so good that YouTube thought it's the original. Remember, it's a robot working there, or she sang it better than the original. It's what's her name? Nasuela, and she wears the hijab, is it? Naira, is it Naira her name? Yeah, that was her. So that's why I'm worried about reading stuff and things like that. Yeah, so Marvella, you see how that could have turned out in another situation? And that's why too, why these prayers are important. You know, Casey Inspirational Tales, she does her morning devotion and how we're going to build our life. That's why I don't know if you're following Marvella, but definitely you want to be inspired. Mary Jane inspiring you. You want to be inspired. And so that's why we have to be careful what we take in. And so in the mornings, you want to put on that whole armor. So you find the stuff that you can listen to. I know, hey, I can go over here. You know, I can hear Cassie over, you know, she does some stuff in the mornings, a little music while I'm getting ready. And then she comes in with a word of motivation. We need that. We have to know, like I said, know how you're going to use this YouTube thing and make it a part of your life so you're not burning out. Right? Nasara, yeah, she was saying something like that. So that's the thing. You know how to plan your day. You come, some of you don't have to come. It's kind of late for some folks, but I appreciate you showing up. I appreciate those of you who are able to watch the live, right? And we're here to inspire each other. We're here to share, and we're here to say, listen, Liz Nasari, that's it. Yes. Oh, I'm so used to the straw. Cassie said, I created my own songs for the motivational videos to prevent a copyright issue. And that's why I really haven't. So Cassie, that's good. Okay, good. Cassie, that's good because that's the thing why I am concerned about the music. Because I'm probably going to do my show. I'm going to get back my show on Twitch. And if I'm going to do the music, it won't be on this channel because I played music for many years, but I want to get back to it, like my studio, and do my. I used to actually drive into a studio and do a 1 a.m. to 6 a.m. Wednesday night into Thursday morning, which is really Thursday morning. But I want to set that back up and probably do it on Twitch. But there should be a way to do it on YouTube. Yeah, it should be a way to do it on YouTube. Great. Oh, that's good. And so that's the thing. Oh, you use one of that, do you use that, I AI tool? You can just throw it in and, next thing you know, you got a whole album there. Mm. Yeah, I agree with you, Valentine. Yes. And so that's why I'm looking for people that I put into it's like you would have a playlist. In other words, you know where you're going for. So whether it's the morning or the afternoon, I know here like today I haven't been restreaming, and so I went and I was like, oh, let me catch I Cherish Church. I was able to catch her on a replay, but then her thing was it started to buffer because I was in the office, so I thought, oh, maybe it's here that why that's happening. But I was able to, to listen in, and then the night before, the day before, I found Snapback Coach. So there are just things that you have to do. You may not be able to see everybody in 1 week, but at least we are going to try. Cassie said, this week I'm posting the motivational videos on my community page with a message in the post. Okay, good. Because I know the last time when I checked, I saw it was up to Sunday. So I don't know if you had missed Monday or something, or maybe I needed to refresh. But that's a good idea. So okay, so you're making the post and you're putting it on your wall. And that's a good idea too, because sometimes I just have my go-to people, and then there are other times that I will scroll through. I'll scroll through the post. When I had Marvella on the hot seat the other night, and once again, thank you for doing that. We talked about how are you going to grow outside of here, and some of you will just have to put yourself out there, start getting on podcasts. You may have to start doing interviews, guys. Start and then just tell people where to find you and what you have to give them. That's a great way. Start finding how many of you would just drop a three. How many of you could possibly find a podcast to do an interview? And that's a great way, to get your to pick up new viewers for your YouTube. Drop a three if you think that's a great idea and you're thinking and that's a possibility that you would do it. Possibility that you would do it, you know, drop a three. I want to see how many people, and then a four if you're thinking about it. But that's a great way. Get on podcasts. There are podcasts out there. They're looking for guests. Okay, so that's a great way to get your YouTube out there. Talk just like how you would share your information, right? And it's not about selling anything. And then the host will ask you, "Oh, okay, so where can we find you?" You know, is Mary Jane the only one who says she's going to try it? Oh, and Nasuela said, "All right, yeah, okay." So, guys, that's it. That's a great way for new people to come in. Lyrics by Nitya, absolutely, and that's a way for new people to find you, because we can't just keep thinking about what's here. We're in a community, but it's huge. There are millions of channels. There are millions of channels. So there are different places. Like the other night, we had Jamaican Uncle on here. Jamaican Uncle went to Africa and didn't know anybody in Africa. And I think is I am underscore Mara said, do you have a YouTube channel? I don't even know if he had one then. And he said, well, you look like an uncle. We'll call you Jamaican Uncle. He's Jamaican Uncle. 15,000 followers. Boom. Right? So you never know. And his people, they follow. Some of them can be, over there in Nasuela. Do you know about I am underscore Mara? I miss my straw. Do you watch I am Mara? If Nasuela is still here. Yeah, guys, try to diversify. Spread out. Wendy used to say, spread out. Wendy Williams, when she wanted to get information, she would tell people, spread out. So you do that. Find yourself in a podcast. I would like to see and watch and see if people won't follow you. They certainly will. That's a great way. And the visibility is key. Visibility is key. And so you could do as much as you can on your own. Others can help you. Mary Jane said, I used to do podcasts a few years back. You probably should start doing it again. Or I think there's a way on YouTube you can turn your videos into a podcast. Oh, okay, you know them, the whole family. Yes, a lot of stuff go. There's just so much drama. It's who is it? Diwango, that's his I think that's it. His sister. I didn't even know they were related. I follow him, her, African Tigress, and Woody Maya and Miss Trudy. So there are lots of people, guys. Listen, these African YouTubers, they're huge. I think Woody Maya, did he reach 1 million yet? Yes, from the village in Naboyanse. It's a YouTube family that comes from a YouTube village called Naboyanse. When I first heard it, I was like, "Wait, what Beyonce have to do with this Naboyanse?" And so that's big stuff happening over there in Africa, man. And then they have the Lazy Gang. They're probably saying, "What are you talking about, man? These African YouTubers, they are everywhere." They listen, we don't die, we multiply. Who remember that? We don't die, we multiply. But they're there. So guys, I'm telling you, y'all gonna start picking up a whole lot of people. But are they the right people who will want to come back and watch your stuff? And sometimes too, I look at some of these videos and it's 135,000 and it's 240,000 and I'm like, man, they must be saying something. And then you listen to them, they're not saying anything different from me and you, or even from like with lyrics by Nitya. She does she does these classes, these videos on YouTube, which has a lot of information. And there are people who are doing the same thing, but they're the 240. Go figure. Okay. So after a while, they'll know what to do and how to push you. Healthy Kitchen Wizard. Hey, hey, hey. Hello, everyone. I'm here watching. Hi, how are you? Nasuela said, Diwango, I am underscore Mara, David Jr., and congrats, mom. Yes, everybody. Listen, Healthy Kitchen Wizard. I loved it. I think you guys were having Sunday brunch. Yes, I had to come over and I saw what was being served. It was broccoli, it was cod. What else was it? And the visitor brought a gift, a plant. I love that. I'm just like, okay, I think I'm going to entertain this summer. I think I'm going to entertain. The only thing is the cleanup. And when people come over, I think was it the summer before, we had summer 2 summers ago, we had, like a nice dinner and people were in the backyard and this and that. But I'm so sweaty and doing this and doing that because I'm just like, either I need a caterer to come in, but it depends on how many people. And I never find myself really sitting down to enjoy. So Healthy Kitchen Wizard, Jean, I loved that you guys were able to have a beautiful afternoon. The food just looked great. And I'm just like, come on in. She was like, come on in. I love that. So that was nice. I could just tell it was just like you guys had a lovely time. And I'm thinking about it. We're building a patio in the backyard. So we'll see how that turns out. And I like the grass though, but we're gonna build a little something. And do you have a fire pit? Some people have a fire pit. I don't know if I want that, but just where you can entertain and for people to come over. A few folks, good people. I mean, because I have a big family and my nephews and then their family, so it's never just like even 5, 6 people, unless there are other couples and other people like that. Um, mhm. Yes, it was very nice. Yes. So I enjoyed that. And you see, guys, you can be inspired. That's what I love about YouTube. You can just be inspired by other people. And I'm just like, you know what? Oh, I want some of this food. I was like, that was very healthy. It was just very nice. It was the potatoes. Healthy Kitchen Wizard. Let me tell you what it was. The foodie in me. I think it was potatoes, like the sweet yams. There was some broccoli. There was some cod, and the ice cream. It's like a gelato kind of ice cream. I think it is, or a sherbet gelato kind of thing. Those are very good. Those are very, very good. That's how much I knew everything what was done. Oh, you have a gas grill, so you grilled it. It was a lot of fun. Yeah, it looked nice. So thank you for sharing that and just giving us a little glimpse. And this is why many of us don't watch television because I'm like, let's go over here and hear what Marvella is saying this morning. Oh, I haven't seen Mary Jane in a while. Let me go over here. Mary Jane is telling you what's been going on and why she chose to step back a little bit so she can take care of some stuff. And God just came through. And then, when Nasuela is like, I believe in angels. I'm over there. I'm just all up in everybody's business. Why? Because that's what I do. I don't watch any television. And then when I turn on TV, you know how that goes. Yes, it's a gelato. I remember when I went to Italy and it was a thing, gelato. I was like, everybody was just crazy about this gelato stuff. It's like it's not ice cream, but they love the gelato. So where were we? We were Positina, I think Positina, right off the Amalfi Coast. That was a good trip. That was a good trip. But yeah, guys, just sometimes we just really have to think it through. Um, I am thinking about how many of you have more than one channel because I am thinking about doing another channel, but I'm not clear if it's going to be faceless or if it's going to be a motivational. Because this is really supposed to be nursing, but I'm talking an entrepreneurship, but I'm pulling in everybody on this one. So I've thought about it, but I'm like, let me just let the main thing be the main thing and focus on this one. Mm. Oh, it's ginger. It's just ginger. Healthy Kitchen, yes. Meritage. What is it again? Meritage. And I was like, that's Jean. But I love it. And that's the thing to make it when you're making the channel, yes, this is this, but that's that this. And then some of the things can mix too. But like I have two groups. I have one for nurses and I have one where other entrepreneurs can be in. And they're similar, but in my nursing group, I can be nursing nurse and talk nursing nurse stuff because that's where we are. And because I chose for that to be exclusive, and then everyone else can go into the other group, which is for business, entrepreneurs, um, just different types of people who are there. So to me, that makes sense. And the thing though, guys, if you're not engaging with people on many of these platforms, if you're not engaging with them, they are not going to see your stuff. I noticed like when I first met Els Endeavors, I went and I watched a couple of her videos, and then her shorts started coming up, and I started to liking them. Then all of a sudden, she was in my feed. So we have to actually really engage with people. And if not, you're going to have to go looking for them because you're not going to find them. Some of my regulars I am not seeing, but every now and then, YouTube remembers my watching habits and it will pop up. We have like 5 minutes to go. This is saying 7 minutes. This is saying five. I don't know. But I want to be able to go and look for the people that I've been watching because I would like to see more of their content. So it's not maybe they're not coming over here. I don't know what's happening. I don't see them. I don't see the world smiles with Basil. I haven't seen him in a while, but I'll see some of his shorts. Cassie said, Cassie's Kitchen, that's Cassie's with an apostrophe S. Kitchen Creations with a K. Okay. I have started a second channel. Oh, wow. What is that channel like? That would be interesting to see. Lyrics by Nitya said, thinking about it. Healthy Kitchen Wizard says she have two. Nasuela said, I tried doing two channels, then stop. It's too draining. That's the thing. If I do another channel, I feel like my channel would be a travel channel because I'm scheduled to go to Japan later this year. And I'm thinking that I would really, and traveling now, I'm not, probably two other places, Japan, and maybe the UK. So that's three places to get footage. Okay, let's see. That's also trying doing two channels, Marilyn. I dropped a video today and already watched it. Who dropped a video, Nitya? Oh, you have two. Cool. You dropped it? So where? Nitya? Nitya, stop holding back. I can't get enough of your stuff. Come on. We like your music. And then we was like, where's Nitya? And then you don't see her, and then Nitya comes live. You'll see her. She does some lives. And that's nice. It's a rare occasion, but you see her and you're like, there she is. And she's just cool. She's sitting there talking. So yeah. Okay, good, good. Cassie's Kitchen Creation said, I visited Basil's channel. He commented on my channel on Monday. Good. Because for him, for some people, oh, it's Marvella said, I have two and it's tiresome. She has done two channel. Yeah, Basil. Basil, some of his videos with R into CEO, his shorts, I cannot check it. But if I use my other account, it works. So I don't know why. Healthy Kitchen Wizard said, I would like to start another channel for real estate. I am a broker, but that's later. Yeah, and it's all within reason. It's all within is pacing yourself. Because I think I would like a channel, but listen, guys, I think there's something that we're missing out on because there's somebody that I follow here on YouTube, and she has monetized all of her channels. She even has a children channel, Nitya, and how you're a writer. She has a channel, but that's for children. So that's children content that she does. That's totally different. So you have to put it's made for children only. So if you're one of those creative people that could create your own characters or your own stories, make sure it's copywritten. I think that would be fantastic. Because even what's her name, Tabitha, she got a kids show. I was like, whoa, my gosh, she has a children's show. So that's good. Valentine said Nitya has good music. Yes, her music hits different. Basil dropped a video. Basil dropped a video? It dropped a video? Nitya, who's on? Because I don't know if we got to Boogie Time to tell her to turn on her thing. I didn't, I don't see wisdom. Let's see. Let's see who's here. But just trying to find out who's on. I tried to find out before. I try to find out. Thank you so much, everybody, for coming. And please do me a favor. As soon as this, I know you guys may be tired, but can you just drop me a quick message on this? Because that's how I come over and I watch. It means a lot. So yeah, when you're able to do that for me. Yeah, think about it. Lyrics by Nitya. I could see you. Oh, she just finished. Okay. And I don't know if her thing is turned on. Might be a way to get her to turn that on. Because it would be nice we just all swoop over there. But I think doing another channel would have to be a channel that I would release videos maybe once or twice a week. So it would be uploaded. If it's something that's not so involved, I could outsource it and have someone, do the editing. But if I am going to release videos, I would want it to build up in such a way that two videos per week, one to two videos, at least one per week, because after monetization, we do need to stay active. We do need to make sure we're in the mix of things. So just scheduling those videos, upload them, set them like an alarm, whatever time, ever so often, those videos are released, and hopefully that will keep the momentum. And after a while, some people I know they outsource it. So when we're looking at these big YouTubers, they got the money that they can do that. It may not have to be expensive right away. You may be able to get some folks who can edit and do things for you, but it's things that you can think in the long run, like, oh, if the challenge I'm having is editing, I may need to outsource it. So outsourcing after a while to think about it may not be a bad idea. But right now we're going to focus on let the main thing be the main thing. Those of you who are on your way to getting things done, go for it. Start cleaning up your pages because before you know it, those hours may just come around and you never know. Mary Jane said, might be for my crafts or gardening. That's nice. I love that. Lyric said, yes, I have a storytelling channel, still trying to find the perfect app to create my videos. Yes, yes. And that's the thing. We continue to do our research. Everybody, I want to thank you so much. I'm leaving this exactly at the 60-minute. Listen, Mary Jane, please let's have tea. When I saw your message, it was like 2 o'clock in the morning. I didn't want to wake you up. Then I came back. Then I could not get back on the app. So I had to re download the app. I dropped you the link. Let's have tea. Tea time. All right, everybody. May the Lord bless and keep each and every one of you. It's been good. It's been great. I thank you for your support. And then I will see you next time. Take care now. Bye.